Social Security recipients have waited years for meaningful change. Now, Tuesday could bring the most sweeping shift in decades. Under growing pressure to ease rising costs and fix systemic delays, the White House is poised to unveil an executive order that could overhaul how benefits are delivered to millions. This isn't just about new payments or digital upgrades. It's a broad attempt to modernize outdated systems, speed up disability claims, and protect monthly checks from political showdowns. From SSI to SSDI to VA benefits, nearly every federal support program could see immediate changes with long-term consequences. At the heart of this move is a focus on security, stability, and modernization. The expected reforms include one-time inflation relief, automatic cost-of-living adjustments, expanded prescription support for veterans and seniors, and stronger protections during government shutdowns. For low-income beneficiaries, raising income and resource limits could mean a path toward financial independence without risking eligibility. It's a bold step that blends economic relief with administrative efficiency, and if implemented fully, it could redefine how the federal government supports its most vulnerable citizens. This Tuesday, everything could change for Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and VA beneficiaries. The White House is set to announce a major executive order, one that could reshape how these benefits are managed, processed, and protected. Millions of Americans are holding their breath. Seniors, veterans, people with disabilities. Not because this is another promise, but because this time, the administration is bypassing congressional gridlock and taking executive action directly from the Oval Office. This order is coming at a moment of real urgency. Rising costs of living, delays in payments, unbearable backlogs, confusion. For months, years in some cases, beneficiaries have been left waiting for relief. Whether it's a Social Security disability claim sitting in limbo, a veteran waiting for approval, or a senior struggling with a fixed income that hasn't kept pace with inflation, the system has shown cracks that can no longer be ignored. And now, for the first time in recent history, the government is stepping in with a multi-pronged action designed to fix what's broken.
Backhand index pointing right. If this information helped you, don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're always one step ahead. We break down important updates like this clearly so you're never caught off guard. Join our community, stay informed, and take control of your financial future, starting today. Flexed Biceps Calendar.
We're talking about a broad set of changes, starting with potential one-time payments. Reports suggest a supplemental check could be issued, possibly up to $1,200, to help offset the brutal inflation Americans have endured over the past 2 years. That kind of direct financial relief could be a lifeline. But it doesn't stop there. This executive order is also expected to implement automatic inflation adjustments, finally freeing veterans and beneficiaries from the yearly uncertainty of whether their payments will keep up with the cost of living. For VA recipients, that could mean payments that rise in real time with inflation, not lag behind it. That's stability. That's predictability. And that's long overdue. There's more. A major focus of this order is system modernization. The outdated, clunky, error-prone computer systems that currently define Social Security and VA benefit processing are on the chopping block. The plan is to inject funding, bring in staff, and overhaul infrastructure so that weeks-long backlogs can finally be cleared. Disability claims shouldn't take months or years to resolve. This order acknowledges that reality and sets a path toward fixing it. Veterans and seniors are also expected to see expanded support for healthcare, specifically prescription drugs. There are signals that negotiations with pharmaceutical companies are underway to reduce the costs of life-saving medications. That includes insulin and mental health prescriptions, which have been unaffordable for too many for too long. This could drastically lower healthcare burdens for the very people who rely most heavily on government benefits. And with government shutdowns and political standoffs becoming far too common, the executive order reportedly includes benefit protections that would prevent payments from being interrupted. That means even if Congress stalls, even if Washington descends into another crisis, your Social Security or VA check still arrives. Time. Guaranteed. There's also a big shift coming in how people access their benefits. Digital modernization is set to receive serious funding. online dashboards, real-time status updates, automated notifications. These upgrades are designed to reduce the number of calls, cut down on in-person visits, and eliminate confusion about when or how benefits will be delivered. Transparency, accountability, and simplicity are being prioritized in ways we haven't seen before. For SSI recipients, there's even more potential change. The current income and resource limits are so low that many can't save or work without losing their eligibility. That's not just unfair, it's a trap. This executive order is expected to increase those limits, allowing people with disabilities to work part-time, build savings, and pursue greater financial independence without being penalized. This could redefine what it means to receive assistance, transforming it from a lifelong restriction to a tool for empowerment. Let's be clear, this is one of the most comprehensive executive actions we've seen in decades for beneficiaries. It aims to deliver immediate financial relief and also sets the foundation for long-term reform. It's both a response to an urgent need and a recognition that the systems in place are no longer working for the people who need them most. But while the proposals are bold, the challenges are real. Officials are warning that scams are already circulating. Fake websites, unsolicited calls, text messages pretending to offer early access to the payment or benefit upgrades. Don't fall for it. The government will not ask for your social security number, bank account, or other private information through unofficial channels. Stay cautious. Only rely on verified sources, and never give out personal data unless you've confirmed the source is legitimate. There's also the risk of bureaucratic delays. Promises made at the top don't always translate into immediate action on the ground. It will take time to upgrade systems, hire staff, and implement changes. And there will almost certainly be resistance. Political, institutional, and technical. Some lawmakers may try to challenge the order. Some agencies may struggle to meet the timelines. But the message is clear. The administration is moving forward, with or without Congress. Still, if implemented correctly, this executive order could mean the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where benefits are fair, fast, and protected. Where seniors don't have to choose between groceries and medication. Where veterans aren't waiting months for mental health services. Where people with disabilities can work, save, and live with dignity. That's why the anticipation around Tuesday's announcement is so high. People are watching. They're hopeful but cautious. And rightfully so. Because for too long, the system has overpromised and underdelivered. What matters now is execution. Will these changes actually reach the people they're meant to help? Will they be rolled out quickly, effectively, and equitably? The executive order also sends a message, beyond the policy specifics. It says that the administration sees the cracks. That they're not waiting around for Congress to act. That millions of Americans depending on these programs deserve more than temporary stopgaps. They deserve solutions. Structural ones. There's one more crucial point. This order won't solve everything. It's not a cure-all. But it could serve as a framework for ongoing reform. A way to lay the foundation for permanent updates to the benefit system. That includes AI-driven tools to detect errors, faster claim approvals, real-time payment tracking, and protections built into the process rather than bolted on after a crisis. This is about modernizing the safety net, not dismantling it. About recognizing that our most vulnerable deserve not just survival but stability. Not just help but respect. And while political gridlock may continue to threaten progress, executive action like this can at least push forward where Congress has stalled. So what now? Stay tuned for Tuesday. Watch closely. Review the details once they're released. And protect yourself, both from misinformation and from scams. If you're a beneficiary, keep your personal info safe and wait for official updates. If you're an advocate, share the real news, not rumors. If you know someone on these programs, help them navigate what's coming. And if this matters to you, if this video helped you understand what's on the horizon, hit the like button. Share this with others who rely on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits. Leave a comment below if you have questions, or if you've been dealing with delays, issues, or concerns with your benefits. And subscribe so you never miss a future update. When the official executive order is released, we'll be back with all the confirmed details. What's changing, when, and how it will affect you. But for now, take this seriously. A major announcement is coming. And it could be the beginning of long-awaited change for millions of Americans. This isn't just about a new policy. It's about correcting decades of delay, dysfunction, and neglect that have eroded public trust in the very systems that were supposed to protect us. For far too long, people have been trapped in a cycle where the bureaucracy moves slowly, the technology is outdated, the staff is overwhelmed, and the rules are so rigid they hurt the people they're meant to help. And let's be honest, when it comes to Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and VA benefits, we've all heard the same stories over and over. People waiting 6 months, 9 months, a year just to get a decision. Veterans calling again and again, only to be told their file is still sitting on someone's desk. Seniors living on less than $1,000 a month, while food and housing prices keep going up. And nothing changes. Till now. This executive order, if it delivers on what's being reported, could finally break that cycle. Not because it's a silver bullet, but because it directly targets the root of the problem. A system that hasn't been modernized in decades and that too often fails the very people it claims to serve. It's not just about more money. It's about reliability, efficiency, dignity. That starts with guaranteed direct deposits. No more missed checks. No more delays due to shutdowns, political games, or processing errors. When your payment date comes, the money lands in your account. Full stop. That's not a luxury. It's the bare minimum for people who depend on these benefits to survive. And then there's the push to overhaul eligibility rules, particularly for SSI. For years, beneficiaries have been boxed in by outdated asset limits. You couldn't save more than a few $1,000s without losing your benefits. You couldn't work a part-time job without getting penalized. That's not support, that's punishment. That's forcing people to stay poor to stay eligible. Under this new executive order, that's expected to change. Resource limits could increase, allowing people with disabilities to build some financial security. That alone could transform lives. It means you can prepare for emergencies. You can accept help from family. You can work without fear of losing everything. Veterans also stand to gain from these changes, especially those struggling with mental health. The order reportedly includes expanded access to critical prescription medications, like insulin and mental health treatments, which have become unaffordable for many. With pharmaceutical negotiations underway, this could lower out-of-pocket costs for the people who've already paid the highest price in service to the country. And for SSDI recipients, the changes to claim processing could bring long-awaited relief. We've all heard the horror stories. People who are clearly disabled being forced to wait months, or years, for a decision. The stress, the uncertainty, the constant appeals. It's not humane and it's not sustainable. By increasing staffing and investing in technology, this executive order aims to cut through that backlog. Faster claims. Fewer errors. Real answers in real time. Now some may ask, why now? Why is this all happening just weeks before the end of the year? Because time is running out. The administration knows that people are fed up. With inflation, with delays, with uncertainty. And with Congress stalled on virtually every major issue, executive action is the only path left to show that government can still function, still respond, still deliver. This isn't just policy. It's political survival. And for millions of Americans, it's personal survival too. The stakes couldn't be higher. Every single aspect of this order, whether it's one-time payments, system upgrades, or benefit protections during shutdowns, is a response to real, measurable failure. The government has heard the calls, the complaints, the pleas. And now it's moving. Whether it moves far enough or fast enough is still to be seen. But for once, there's something on the table beyond empty promises. Still, we need to stay grounded. Executive orders can be powerful, but implementation is everything. These changes won't happen overnight. Hiring staff takes time. Updating digital systems takes money and testing. Changing eligibility rules means updating every form, every system, every interaction point with the public. And let's not pretend there won't be resistance. Some lawmakers will try to block it. Some agencies may struggle to roll it out quickly. But that doesn't mean this is just political theater. It means we all need to stay informed, stay vocal, and hold every agency involved accountable for turning these announcements into reality. And there's another issue that needs attention: misinformation. With an announcement this big, the scammers are already circling. Be careful. No one from the government is going to call you, email you, or text you asking for your bank account or social security number. If someone says they can get you early access to your benefits or a special payment for a fee, they're lying. Ignore it. Report it. Stick with official channels only. That's also why it's critical to know what to expect. Once the order is signed, agencies will begin issuing updates, step by step. What changes first? Who qualifies? How to check your status? What you need to submit, if anything. These will be official communications, coming through the SSA or VA, not random third parties. If you're unsure, call your local office or visit their official website directly. Do not trust links sent in unsolicited messages. Now let's step back and look at the broader picture. This executive order is part of a larger movement to finally treat benefit programs as foundational infrastructure, not just band-aid solutions. It signals a willingness to stop reacting to crises and start planning for stability. If it succeeds, it could shift how we think about federal support systems for a generation. That includes anchoring benefits to real economic conditions. If inflation rises, your benefits adjust automatically. If the government shuts down, your payments still arrive. If you need healthcare, you don't have to bankrupt yourself to get basic prescriptions. That's the direction this order points toward. A safety net that actually protects people. This is about correcting imbalance. For too long, beneficiaries have borne the brunt of every inefficiency. You wait in line. You sit on hold. You beg for updates. You navigate outdated websites, slow offices, contradictory letters. And when the government drops the ball, it's you who pays. That has to end. This order is a step, maybe a big one, toward fixing that. But it only works if people stay informed and engaged. If you're a Social Security, SSDI, SSI, or VA beneficiary, now is the time to pay attention. When the order is signed, make sure you understand what applies to you. Review your benefits. Check your income and eligibility. Keep an eye on your statements. Ask questions if something doesn't look right. Because while this order could be a breakthrough, it will only help if people know what they're entitled to, and fight for it if necessary. This is your moment to get ahead of the process. Date your information now. Make sure your direct deposit details are accurate. If you've moved, changed banks, or had a shift in income or household status, notify your benefit office immediately. Don't wait until systems are updated and you're left behind. The government may finally be moving, but it's on us to make sure they move in the right direction, and that no one gets left out of this transformation. This is one of those rare moments when government action might finally catch up to the urgency people have been living with every single day. Because let's be clear, this isn't about politics. It's about people. People who've waited too long for back pay from SSDI. People who've called the Social Security office week after week and heard the same line. We're processing your case. It's about disabled veterans whose mental health care was delayed because the system couldn't keep up. About seniors forced to ration medication or skip meals because their fixed income hasn't budged while everything else has gotten more expensive. This executive order, if it's delivered with the force and clarity that's being reported, is not just overdue. It's essential. Think about what's on the table. One-time relief checks to help people who've been crushed by inflation. Upgraded systems that actually process claims in weeks, not months. Inflation adjustments that happen automatically, so people aren't waiting every year for Congress to approve a COLA increase that's already too little, too late. It's hard to overstate what a shift this could be. For decades, benefit programs have been managed like relics of a past century. Paper files, outdated rules, phone lines that go nowhere. And people have been forced to navigate that maze just to get what they've already earned. Veterans, in particular, have been left in the lurch time and time again. This order might finally give them the tools to check their status online, receive their payments on time, and access affordable mental health care without delay. For those who served this country, that's not a perk. It's a promise long broken, and long overdue to be fulfilled. Then there's the change to SSI eligibility. For years, those on supplemental security income have been treated as second-class citizens within the benefit system. You couldn't save more than a few $1,000s or earn too much without being kicked off the program entirely. That left people afraid to take opportunities, afraid to get a part-time job, afraid to save for emergencies, kept people stuck in poverty with no way out. This order could change that. By raising resource and income limits, it gives people the chance to build a future, without risking the support they rely on to live. And for millions of others on SSDI or regular Social Security, the real breakthrough is modernization. A system that finally works like the rest of the world does in 2025. Direct deposits that don't mysteriously disappear. Portals that let you track your claim. Updates that come automatically, not after hours on hold or months of waiting. Let's not sugarcoat it. This isn't going to solve every issue overnight. Implementation is going to take time. Some of the changes may require adjustments in how agencies work, how they hire, how they process data. There will be technical challenges. There will be political resistance. But the foundation is being laid for something stronger, more reliable, and more respectful of the people these programs were built to serve. It's also a line in the sand. Because while Congress continues to argue over budgets and debt ceilings, this order says, we're not going to wait anymore. Seniors can't afford to wait. Veterans can't afford to wait. People with disabilities can't afford to wait. The executive branch is stepping in, using its authority to push through relief and reform, even if Capitol Hill can't get its act together. That's what leadership looks like in a time of gridlock. But make no mistake, none of this works if people aren't paying attention. When this announcement drops, you need to know exactly what it means for you. Whether you qualify, whether your payment is changing, whether you need to update your information or submit new documentation. The agencies will be moving quickly, and you don't want to be caught off guard. So start preparing now. Get your paperwork together. Make sure your contact info is correct. Check your direct deposit. If you've changed jobs, changed addresses, or had changes in your household, notify the SSA or VA office right away. Don't assume they have your latest info. Verify it yourself. And stay aware. Don't fall for scams, especially in the days following the official announcement. Scammers will use this moment to target people, pretending to be the government, offering early access to payments, or claiming they need your personal information. Don't respond. Don't click on random links. Don't give out your social security number. Use official channels only. If this order rolls out the way it's expected to, it could redefine what public benefits look like in this country. But the government can only build the system. It's up to each of us to navigate it wisely, protect ourselves from bad actors, and hold institutions accountable when they fall short. This is a moment that could bring real change, but only if people stay informed and ready to act. If this helped you understand what's coming, hit that like button so more people see it. Share this video with anyone you know who depends on Social Security, SSDI, SSI, or VA benefits. Drop a comment if you've been impacted by delays, backlogs, or confusion. We're listening. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll be tracking every detail of Tuesday's announcement and breaking it all down so you can take action and protect your benefits. The system is finally moving. Be ready to move with it.